As a charity, our vision is to be a centre for everyone, and transparency is about being very true to that vision, from how we communicate and relate to our staff, to our stakeholders, including our funders and our donors, all the way to the public that we serve. For us, transparency is about integrity to that vision and doing what we say and always being able to say what we do.
We are all accountable to our donors. Whatever money that is donated to us, we will make sure that it eventually gets directed to our beneficiaries.
Transparency is so important to all our stakeholders. Trust and transparency go hand in hand, really.
Transparency is very important as it allows our stakeholders and, very importantly, our beneficiaries to understand how Shine is set up, how we go about to procure the necessary resources and to deliver the services which are required.
Transparency is fundamental to good governance so that we can build public trust to support the work we do, as well as to be held accountable to our stakeholders, including donors, volunteers and beneficiaries.
As a charity, we have very strict rules of governance and lots of checks and balances in the organisation. But what's unique about the Esplanade is that we are a public space, which means that from the moment we open to the moment we shut, transparent as a public space.
Transparency to us means we're willing to admit mistakes when we do make mistakes. It's in the way that we manage, the way that we operate, the way that we involve people in decision making, in being open about issues, challenges.
Shine has undergone self-accreditation as well as a constant review of our processes. It is also disclosed annually in our reports. It is one that we take pride, and a lot of efforts are actually put in to provide that level of transparency to all our stakeholders and beneficiaries.
SGS ensures that all critical information about the organisation, such as our annual report, financial report and transparency evaluation checklists, are published and made available on our communication platforms in a timely fashion.
Our charity is actually 100% volunteer run, while our processes and governance is actually documented down properly in guidelines and SOPs. This is where I also have to ensure that my board, on top of their day-to-day jobs, they have to make sure that the governance aspect is actually adhered to strictly and followed through in our charity.
Well, the initiatives that we take are really not written in a handbook, so to speak. Transparency is something that is best shown by example. It's so important that the board members set the example, as well as the CEO, the group management team and all staff. They have to buy in on the importance and the value of transparency.
Transparency is a two-way process. It's very much about what we do internally in terms of the audit process, the training of our staff to be aware of these processes, our relationship with our board, which supports us in governance. But it's two-way because it's also about the feedback that we receive from our donors, our funders, and the public, and being able to adjust our programs and open to the feedback as we adjust our programs.
Collaboration is very key. It is with their input and teamwork that we have been able to come together to best deliver the services for our children in need.
SGS is one of the early adopters to embark on Facebook Workplace as a platform to share information and updates with not just our staff, but also key stakeholders. This helps facilitate information sharing and alignment, which build trust within the organisation as we focus on delivering impactful services to the cancer community. We do acknowledge that we are still a work in progress. Through this entire application and interview process, it has helped us to be more aware of areas for strengthening so that we can better serve our beneficiaries. This process does require a lot of time and resources, but in the long run, it is all worth it.